Hi, my name is Jaree Williams, and I am a wellness postpartum coach where I create a space for new moms to feel seen, heard by helping them build their own village to prioritize their wellness and rediscover their identity to show up empowered to be their best without neglecting their family. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably like, I want some postpartum information. And this is the space. You are officially in this postpartum series called I Didn't Know Until Postpartum Edition. And today I'm going to give you a little bit about my story, and continuing throughout the series, you will have other women. How's that sound? And be sure to subscribe so that you can get notifications when it's time. As a mom of two, I understand the challenges of navigating the postpartum period and the importance of wellness, from not knowing the signs and symptoms of perinatal mental health disorders, which you can experience and not even be aware of it until it's too late. Common feelings during postpartum include loneliness, anxiety, and feelings of inadequacy. You're trying to heal, rest from birth while taking care of a new person at the same time who needs you 24/7. It also depends on your birth experience as well. While the physical recovery from childbirth can take some time, the emotional and mental recovery can even take longer. Sleep deprivation, which can increase your emotions and can even lead to depression in some cases. You feel a strong sense of responsibility for your baby, but at the same time, you may not feel ready or capable of taking on the role of as a parent. And that's okay. That's where that village comes into play. And we're going to talk more about that. There are so many emotions involved in transition, from being overwhelmed, uncertain about parental decisions, expectations, and more. Postpartum needs to be planned just like the births because it's the longest trimester out of all four of them. Support is crucial when you navigate through this beautiful yet challenging experience. And that's why, me as a wellness postpartum coach, I created a postpartum planning guide to help you get the golden ticket. Yes, the golden ticket to planning, okay? And oftentimes you're not really in a space to learn about how to prepare for postpartum because the focus is solely on the childbirth experience. But because, like I mentioned, the fourth trimester is the longest, you want to make sure that you're planning for it. And in my planning guide, you have a meal prep plan. You learn how to plan tasks, make time for yourself, and also communicating with your partner and creating that support system that is essential to your well-being. And y'all, the best part is you have a whole list of resources for the signs and symptoms of the perinatal mental health disorders, whether it's anxiety, depression, there's psychosis in there. There's also PTSD, there's OCD. There is so many different types of perinatal mental health disorders, and it does not one fits all. There are signs and symptoms that you have to be aware of so that you can move forward and be able to know and be aware. Because the more you know, the better you can navigate it. So yes, so if more new moms keep going into postpartum unaware of the challenges and not know what to do, there will continue to be a spike in the mental health of mothers reflecting on their physical health, causing them to be unable to take care of their baby. This is why I created this series so that you can be able to listen to other mom stories and be able to see how postpartum looks different for each mom. It does not look the same. One mom may already have kids. One mom may be the first time mom. You have moms who has kids with special needs. You have moms who even lost children during this time. And they're grieving that as well. So there is different aspects that you will see in this series. And I'm so glad that you're tuned in. And also, there's a podcast that I have. It's called Navigating Postpartum, where you can, on the go, because YouTube, you can't really close out all the time and you have all them commercials. But on my podcast, you can listen to empowering lessons and listen to other interviews that talk about moms and how they prioritize their self-care. You hear moms who've homeschooled their kids, who are stay-at-home moms, working moms. We're all inclusive here. We're a judgment-free community and we support one another. And that's what's so incredible about it. So now I'm going to get into telling you why I believe that by prioritizing wellness, can make a difference, okay? So I'm going to get ready to tell you my story. And I'm going to take a drink of water. Good to go. So my journey began when I had my first son in July of 2021. So throughout that pregnancy, it went smooth. I had a midwife who is so phenomenal. So make sure that y'all follow her. I know she has a YouTube channel as well. I'm gonna probably link it below. But her name is Christine, the midwife, and it's called Birth by Grace on Instagram. And I had an amazing doula. We had it was a great experience. And then when it came towards my home birth, it started, I wasn't progressing as much and I was tired. I was tired, y'all. So I decided to go to the hospital and, rest because I was tired and it's okay. Your birth doesn't always plan out how you want to, but as long as you acknowledge that and you can grieve that experience, but just don't stay in it. So with that, I ended up having a C-section, unexpected. It wasn't an emergency one. It's just I didn't make that much progress. And it was like 27 hours of labor. And I was like, okay, we got to get this baby out, you know? But at the time, I wish I would have looked at other methods and intervention options, but it is what it is. I know the most important aspect is having a healthy mom and having a healthy baby. Okay. But yeah, so during that experience, it was different. Okay. And then a few months later, I made the decision to go back to work full time in a new role in person. And thankfully, I had my mother in law to keep my son. And I thought I was ready, ready to go back. Like, oh, they need me. I'm in a new role. And I quickly realized that balancing work and motherhood was incredibly challenging. My son was only 3 months. I found myself at work trying to fulfill this role while also finding time to pump milk and just go lead a team and also be able to do other aspects of the day. Like, you have household tasks, you have different life factors, so many different experiences that are just, yeah, but with that said, it was exhausting, and I felt like I was constantly running on empty, y'all. I was in survival mode, like, I would just, like, be a zombie, like, I would wake up and just go through the day. I wasn't even being present, I would just go through the day, just ready to go back to sleep, and, having a newborn, you're not sleeping like that. Well, he wasn't I was a newborn, but yeah, but infants don't like to sleep, but we'll get into that. But yeah, so when I would get home, I have to summon the energy to be fully present for my son and spend time with my husband. Little did I know I was battling postpartum depression, y'all, but I didn't know that at the time, okay? So I kept it to myself, only talking to my husband like, I'm tired. I don't feel like myself. I feel like lonely. I don't know what's next. It's a lot. And I was very overwhelmed. It took time for me to open up about it, and I was going through it. So throughout the next couple months, still didn't really know what it was called. I was just going through the motions and letting life happen. In the following year, I was filled with just still unhappy. So it was it was July. So then January, that was the following year. My life changed so drastically, and I felt like I was in a completely different season than when I started my job. However, I pushed through until the end of the school year, determined to make it work because I was like, yeah, I have to do something different. I'm not happy. I don't feel like myself. I'm not able to spend time with my son. I was only seeing him for like 2 hours a day. And so that's what that's what really led me to start prioritizing myself and making sure that I'm waking up earlier to do things that I enjoy, to fill me up, listening to inspiration, learning how to do my yoga and meditations again, because before I was working out, but it's different. It's different. It's a big transition. You don't know. Like you're just like trying to figure it out as you go. And I wish I would have had a postpartum plan at the time, but I didn't. Um, but it was amazing to see that I started to prioritize myself, and that experience just led me to where I am today. And I eventually, here I am now as a wellness postpartum coach, being able to coach new moms and prepare them for postpartum through planning, prioritizing their self care, and just rediscovering who you are in that process while trying to be a mom. Because it doesn't just stop at once you become a mom. It's not that you're not able to do those things again. You just have to pivot. And so now, through my experience, and it wasn't extreme, it wasn't anything crazy, and I want to acknowledge that. But my story is my story. And now my mission is to help other women who are going through the same struggles I did, whether it is postpartum depression or you just don't know what to prepare for in the fourth trimester, I'm here to cheer you on. I want you to know that I create this space for you to be judgment free, and you will see that along with the series. I want to offer support, guidance to those seeking hope. You know, there are resources out there. One of my favorite ones that I always tell my clients is postpartum.net. Postpartum.net, PSI, Postpartum Support International, has amazing resources. And they will give you, if you want to find a therapist, a doctor, midwife, or whatever it is, you can search. And you can even choose if you want someone that looks like you. You can see if someone has perinatal mental health training or certifications and all those things. You also have support groups, and you have, oh, the list goes on, y'all. You can even have like so many different support groups to meet with others who are experiencing the same journeys through. You just have to look at the support groups, and it's just so amazing. I'm so honored to be able to find these resources now to help you guys. But the moral of the story is to choose a life that brings you happiness and fulfillment. It's never too late to make changes and prioritize your well-being. Life is too short and beautiful to live in a place of sadness. So, although it was a difficult time for me and I made it through, and I didn't think I wanted any more kids. And then I had my second son. My postpartum experience was completely different because I planned for postpartum. It's very effective. I was able to check on myself, make time for myself, prioritize myself, communicate how I was feeling, asking for help. Because with my first son, I did not ask for help. And that could be a downfall. Okay. Did not ask for help. But now it's like a night and day experience. And I'm so glad and grateful that I was able to experience both sides of the spectrum. And now I can help other moms learn how they can do it. And I'm not dismissing. It doesn't mean that you won't experience perinatal mental health disorders. That doesn't mean you won't be depressed. That doesn't mean you won't have anxiety. But I'm here to be that advocate so that you can understand that and also know that there are treatment options. It's not gonna, it's not the end of the world, and that you can make it through. So start learning. If you are in the process of about to be a new mom or a new dad, make sure you make a plan. Make sure you can go to worthyforever.com to download a postpartum planning guide. And it gives you all the things that you need to prepare for postpartum, because postpartum is a beast. And even nobody's story is going to be the same. And that's what's so beautiful about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of the series, and come back, okay? And be sure to follow me at Jaree.Williams and go to worthyforever.com to learn more information. Till next time, I will see you then. Bye.